Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Board YouTube channel presented by the FanDuel Sportsbook for today's Pick and Roll live stream for January 23rd, a Thursday, with a big NBA slate to go with. We're going to break down all the matchups. We're going to be hearing the free picks from my co-host PipsNBA. And lately on the channel, we have been winning as well. And it was a winning day yesterday also for the show. A weird winning day where we get a devastating hook loss on Zach Edey. We needed over 13.5 points plus rebounds. He had 13 at half. Got 0 in the second half. Some foul trouble contributed to that. But all the emotions negative there turned to positive ones when we got a pretty, not quite as historic, but a historic hook win on Moses Moody, who scores in the final possession to get over his 10.5 points up to 11 in that game. So it was a 2-1 winning day with the loss. The win on Kyrie Irving. No sweat there. We had a fourth play, which was voided. The New Orleans, because the New Orleans game got postponed. So a winning day overall. And again, we have a winning season in the mix. And we're looking to keep that going with today's show. So make sure you do hit that like button if you're ready to go for today. Make sure as well you're subscribed to the channel so you keep up to date with the shows to go live every weekday morning. Same time right now, 9:45 a.m. Eastern time. But we'll get started and go to the top of the list for the games today. We'll bring in my co-host, PipsNBA. We have the Paris game today, and we were curious yesterday about Victor Wembanyama lines. I said yesterday I've hated the Pacers lately because right as I was kind of talking smack about them because they've been losing games, and it's great because the Raptors have their first-round pick next year. The Pacers are on quite a historic run. We're using that word a lot today, but 8-2 out of nowhere for this Pacers team after the struggles to start their season. They're up to 5th in the East, 24-19. But the Paris game, of course, will be dominated headline-wise by the play of Victor Wembanyama. His point total, wow, you called it yesterday, 28.5 for this one. All right, anywhere you can look to attack this game here, Pips?
Yeah, maybe we can look at like... what's the Miles Turner for threes?
Miles Turner threes. It is 1.5, minus 145 for the over.
This got probably smashed. I checked it yesterday. It was minus 120. Didn't recheck it, but when you start talking about the game, I was like, Miles Turner threes could be a good bet for this one. But
It happens.
it went away. So I think that's probably like a fair price now. Other than that, for this game, tough one. I think it was open for quite some time, so the lines kind of
This game was up yesterday. No player processed it, but they opened up a lot earlier than normal because of the implications behind this one.
Yeah, so the FanDuel line is obviously a weird one. You can look at the entire season. Like I'll just show you on the Pros Madness. Like if you look at the entire season for FanDuel here, like this line, like that's not a good line. Like he averaged 25 on a season. Pacers are not like some crazy matchup for him. Like it's a good matchup. Not gonna lie, like it's a good matchup, but nothing crazy. Like yeah. But I won't touch it because I have no idea what they are going to do in Paris for Wemby. So, but I will say that I lean under. Like if it's a normal game environment, which isn't, I will lean under. Let me just check. Halliburton assists are at 8.5 when he's playing with Siakam, Maturin, and Nemhard. TJ, he's under this line. Ton of these games, especially on the away ones. But lately, potential assists were quite high. So I won't bet anything on this game.
A couple questions here. First of all, is this the highest point line of the season for Wemby? I feel like it has to be.
I think it was 28.5 against Wizards, but
okay,
can probably could be the highest of the season. And the Pacers lately tend to double a lot. And Miles Turner, like overrated defender, but for Wemby, kind of good, like wingspan and size and speed to defend Wemby. So not a great matchup. I mean, it's it's above average, but not like something like Wizards.
Hmm. So
Because
we'll
both
see. It's
Siakam,
big line, but not enough for
both
us to
Siakam
hit this
and,
one
and,
here.
and Miles can do something against him.
Also, question here: if Miles Turner was at -135, would you take it, or rather, like, what would be the price you'd take on Turner threes?
I think that's fine.
Okay.
Minus 150 is correct one, so minus 135 small edge.
All right, we can move into our second game, and we'll keep progressing through the slate here. We have the Trailblazers, 8.5-point underdogs on the road at Orlando. Small total here at 212 for the over/under. Any thoughts for this game here? Magic still dealing with a lot of injuries, coming off of some pretty poor losses. I know they've been injured. I understand that, but been a rough stretch of games. 3-7 in their last 10. I believe they've lost 5 of their last 6 as well, coming off of a big loss to the Raptors in a game they led by 21. They ended up getting blown out in the end. Anything for this game?
Yeah, we are going to. Can you just check the FanDuel for Tomani Kamara line?
For points,
Yeah,
it is 9.5 -104.
for under.
Oh, for under. Under 9.5 is -132.
Can you see the? I think
Yeah.
that's the lowest I will go. Can you see like there are
Yeah.
better
Yeah.
prices? Probably need to be there.
Um, widely available. There's
Minus
minus
125.
125, but there is slightly better as well out there. But I think for the show, -125 will work.
Okay, let's do under for minus 125.
All right.
The matchup is absolutely crazy. I'll just show you like when overall when he's playing 24 to 34 minutes, maybe like even 20. I'll do 26. So we are on conservative side of this. He averaged 9 points, which is right at the line. But when we look at the games when he didn't play, like teams who allow a ton of threes, like bottom 5 teams in threes allowed, and I need to do the usage one because Shaden Sharp is playing, Jeremy Grant is back, Danny Avdia is playing, Hood Henderson is playing. I think Simons is playing as well, and Aiton could play as well. So now Kamara went from like fourth scoring option to like eighth. So the usage season average is like at 15%. It will tank. So I'll just like exclude those games where he had over 20% usage because that's not going to happen against the Orlando Magic. And now we get that he is under this line in 10 out of 13 games, averaging 6.9 points. And these matchups make sense. Like teams that are left are Clippers, Spurs, Clippers again, Memphis, Houston Rockets, Suns. So like teams that don't send help a lot, that play good defense overall mostly. That's on that part. On matchup wise, we can see a lot of red. He scores most of his points in a spot up. Orlando Magic obviously talk about it a ton of times. They are the best spot up defense in the league. That's accounting for 37% of his points. Second most dominant way of scoring is transition. He averaged 18% of points transition. Orlando Magic fourth best defense in transition. Putbacks, third most dominant way. Again, Orlando Magic the best against putbacks. He's making 51%. Uh, 51% of his points come from the three. Orlando Magic allows the least threes in the league. So overall, like there is not a thing about this matchup that works for him. Also, Franz Wagner should be back for Orlando Magic. The spread is at 8.5. If Franz is ruled in, as they announced that he will play, spread the power move even further, and away at the Magic, honestly, could be a blowout as well. So that could also help our under in this one. Foul trouble against France and Banquero also could help this one. So yeah, I like the spot for under on Tomani, and it's our first bet.
So there's better out there, but the best option widely available is -125 for the under 9.5 here. You can play all the way to that -132 that was available at FanDuel as well. Just make sure you check what's in your region as always for every bet. We always recommend line shopping for the show, but we do preach as well to use the FanDuel Sportsbook, our presenting sponsor on the board YouTube channel, because the NBA season is heating up. As you watch your favorite teams and players, you can check out FanDuel to make every NBA moment even more rewarding with America's #1 sportsbook. The book is so easy to use and so easy to find all of the different and diverse markets available, from same-game parlays to X plus points, quarter props, live betting options, and much more. These markets are posted quickly with fair prices, and if you do find those winners, you can get that money out of your FanDuel account quickly back into your bank accounts with speedy withdrawals. And right now, to make it better, new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Yes, $300. So next time you get a hunch on who's going to win or how many points a player will score, bet on FanDuel and watch your picks come to life. Just visit FanDuel.com/board. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. But must be 21 plus and present in select states or candidates in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino or 18 plus and present in DC. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bet, which expires 7 days after receipt. After 3 months free trial, the full price of League Pass will be automatically charged monthly. Cancel any times, no refunds. Terms, restrictions, and embargoes apply. Limit one pass per customer. Cancel any time. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelpline.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. We'll keep it moving here. Bring it down the rest of the NBA slate today. Big slate to go through. We're one pick in, and we'll try to keep it going. We have the Miami Heat and the Milwaukee Bucks playing against one another. Milwaukee rumored to be involved in an upcoming trade involving the Miami Heat. I feel like we should discuss that before the 7-point spread in this one. So the alleged rumor going around is that Butler will end up in Phoenix. Beal will end up in Milwaukee, and Middleton will end up in Miami, with guys like Portis maybe going elsewhere. How do you feel about these rumors here? What do you think? I think the Bucks get the short end of this, but how do you feel about those rumors going around?
No, makes zero sense for me.
For who? Which team? For all of them?
Yeah.
Well, like, for Phoenix, you get off
Beal. The worst fit I can imagine for Giannis is Butler.
No, it would be Butler in Phoenix. It's confusing, but Butler in Phoenix.
Okay, yeah. So I was looking at the slate. Sorry, I didn't hear.
Beal in Milwaukee. It's 3-team. Beal in Milwaukee, and then Middleton in Miami would be like the base of the trade. Many other moving parts, possibly a fourth team, like potentially the Jazz, the Hornets, the Raptors. But the framework is Butler in Phoenix, Beal in Milwaukee, Middleton, Miami.
First off, Beal and Middleton are terrible players. Like, both are outside top 100. We already talked about it.
Yes.
Second, I don't think either of them is even worth the first round pick. But I will think like first round pick should be enough to get either of those. So you are trading Butler for one first round pick value.
Well, there's picks involved as well. I don't know where those picks are. It's a very confusing situation.
I mean, if that's the best Miami can do, it sucks.
Yeah, I agree.
Chris Middleton should retire, and Beal should probably, I don't know, like, what's the future for Beal, but holding on that contract is
Yeah,
absolutely
that's the
incredible,
thing. Like
insane,
a guy like
insanity.
Bradley Beal could still carve out a role in the NBA, like a
You don't
six-man
want to
style
have
role.
like two Tyler Heroes on the same team. Like Tyler Heroes, like much better player than Bradley Beal, which
Yeah,
is quite a statement.
like
Yeah.
Beal could still be a good player in the NBA, like a good scorer off the bench, I think. But the issue is he's making like $50 million and has no trade clause, so
Yeah.
it's hard to justify having that on your team if you're good. But this is, I mean, do the Bucks really want to move off Middleton? Do they think Beal is an improvement? Does Miami just need to get rid of Jimmy Butler, and this is the best they can do?
I
It's
mean,
possible.
Butler will work like a charm for the Suns.
Phoenix, yeah,
Like a massive improvement over Bradley Beal, and like defensive wing that they needed, like that can defend, that can create, that can put the rim pressure. Rim pressure is the biggest issue for the Suns.
yeah,
If you could take a look at this season, they as a team are shooting the least at the rim. Like Butler works there like perfectly, perfect fit.
yeah,
But yeah, the return is awful for Miami. So I don't
yes.
know. They should
I,
look like, I don't know, like what's
I,
the team that can give them
the most for
much
Butler.
more?
Well, it depends who
Yeah,
wants Butler. He's got a player option end of the year, so it might just be a rental. So, I, it's gonna be tough to trade him.
yeah.
All right, we'll go back to this game. Give us your thoughts in the chat on where Butler may end up. But 7-point spread for this one in favor of Milwaukee, who've been playing some good ball lately, up to fourth in the Eastern Conference, 4 wins in a row. Any thoughts in the game?
Tough one, but healthy Bucks should have no issues. No issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Butler as well, by the way, missed the team plane and is going to be suspended. Like I don't know if it's confirmed, but going to miss the 2 games of this road trip. This is the first of those
Yeah,
2.
yeah. And can we look at the lines, like just to like get any idea?
Yes. Yes.
Because it's Calvert stuff, like everyone is betting on this guy.
So Giannis at 28.5, Lillard 23.5, Tyler Hero at
Look at the Bam
23.
Adebayo line, like Bam Adebayo 14.5, like without Butler, like that's insane. Think about like last season,
Yeah.
but he regressed like so badly. Like he is unbelievable fall off on year on offense from Bam Adebayo. Like
Yeah.
completely doesn't bring much. But betting wise, looking at these numbers, I don't know. Look at the guys that are offered for the Miami. Like, this is
Khalil
probably like
Ware,
some,
Duncan Robinson.
yeah. Those guys were like almost out of rotation like 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
and now they are like,
I mean, Khalil Ware
yeah.
was in the
Tyler
rotation.
Hero was great spot. Obviously, no consideration. Bam Adebayo 14, like that's insane. Like, but still, looking at his number, I'll just go to take a look at this because that's obviously absurd line. Even though he is struggling, but tough to take over when the numbers are not great. But even like so, yeah, like let's look at season numbers without Butler. So Butler out, he's over this line 10 out of 16, but he put the numbers on teams like Utah Jazz, Pacers twice, Pistons. One good game against the Orlando Magic. I really don't know what happened there, but other than that, he didn't put like next game he had 4 points, 23 and 4. So look, he played Orlando Magic twice in a span of like 5 days, and then he put 23 and then he put 4. I think that says a lot about do we can we trust Bam Adebayo to score?
Yeah.
Also, he's playing hurt and his minutes are really down. So when he gets like 28 to 36, 28 34 seems like a thing lately. He averaged 16. Yeah, it's tough to like he's scoring 70% from the paint, and the Bucks have second best paid defense. Yeah, can't do much here. So nothing for this game. But just saying, like seeing 14.5 for Bam without Butler and passing is interesting look and tells about a lot about how Bam Adebayo is playing this season.
Just to add another layer to that trade, I meant the potential trade I mentioned. Just interesting timing of all this. Bradley Beal missed, I believe it was yesterday's game with ankle soreness out of nowhere. So questions of a trade there. Jimmy Butler suspended, not with the team on this current road trip. So again, questions there. That's more so because he missed a team flight. You don't want to do that, but something could be brewing, especially after Phoenix traded away their 2031 first-round pick for 3 first-round picks from the Utah Jazz. The 31 pick being probably pretty valuable, the 3 from the Jazz being not so valuable, but a 3-to-1 trade to distribute their assets elsewhere. I think another hint of a potential multi-team trade. And there's rumors that the 4th team in the trade could end up being the Toronto Raptors, and we'll talk about them here. Raptors have won 3 of 4 games.
Let's keep to the Lakers one because I have a bet that could move. So let's keep to the Lakers one.
What a good segue I teed up. Gone to waste, but it's okay. We make the change because of a bet. Lakers Celtics, historic matchup.
Yeah, let's go to the player points to see is there any alliance for Rui Hachimura.
All right, Hachimura on points. It is not here.
So look, like they've gotten smart. I'll say that. Like I've seen some people like arguing about how FanDuel doesn't offer like bench players early, and that's smart. Like, yeah, that's super smart. Like, why would you expose yourself to get killed? Like that makes zero sense for any sharp books that actually take a ton of money, like FanDuel is taking on these props. Yeah, and
yeah, the trade-off you get is that they're fair with limits, and you can get a lot more down. The penalty for that is that you may not get as many players options up early in the day. Yeah.
So yeah, we need to go to look around for Hachimura, but we are going to bet he's under 11.5 points.
Yeah. Under 11.5, there's -125s widely offered. -120 is available as well for this one. Yeah, quite a few options available at -120 to -125. So I think we're okay to play that there for the show. We'll do -125.
So if you take a look at the entire season for Hachimura, we can obviously see that he's like dancing around this line, averaging 12 on the season, under in almost 50-50 split. But lately, we can see the injury report. Anthony Davis and LeBron James are probable for this game, and everyone else is playing. So first of all, I'll start with the games when AD played, LeBron played, and Austin Reeves plays. Those are the most important players on the team and high usage. And now that doesn't change much when you look at this. But he played some heavy minutes throughout the season. Like he had games where he played 40 minutes, like 35, 39, 37. And lately he's been on like 32, 28 to 32 minutes rotation. This game with 33 minutes close game was without Dorian Finney-Smith. Then against the Clippers, he played 33, but he got hot in the first half, so they gave him big minutes. But now when you look at the games where he played between 26 and 34 minutes with these 3 guys, he's under this line in 10 out of 15 games. And when you look at the matchup and scoring by position, we can see that it gets tough. So first off, let's see, like he's scoring most of his points in spot up. Boston third best defense, third least spot up allowed. Transition, 21% of his points, they are 5th best. Free throws, they are 2nd best. So that's like 65% of his points. They are top 5 in all of these numbers. When you look at the scoring wise, he scores most of the points at the rim. They are 9th best and trending towards, I think they're like 4th best last 15 games, or like like sixth best with since Porzingis returned, trending in the real right direction, and they don't allow corner threes and don't allow above the break threes. They are now leaning into not allowing threes. Overall, Boston allows seventh least threes on the season. That's where most of his points are coming from. But look at this. This is similar players by position. So small forwards and power forward overall forwards against the Boston, and they over the last 15 games they are stayed under their lines in 12 out of 15. Guys like Aaron Wiggins only 4 points. Jalen Johnson 14 points. Banchero stayed under. Scotty Barnes stayed under. Zion stayed under. So yeah, tough matchup for the Wings. Tough matchup for the guys that don't create their self points for themselves. So yeah, he had a crazy good game against the Miami, who allow a ton of spot up, and against the Clippers, who I watched the game. They kind of ignored him. So yeah, he had a big game. So I'm going to take his under tonight.
Okay, we got two unders as the first two official picks of the day. First, we had Tamuni Kamara. Now we're going with Rui Hachimura for this one, and we're getting minus 125 for the under 11.5 points. Shop around to find the best price for this one in your region as well. As always, as you should do for all of your bets. And we can go back to that Raptors game now against the Hawks. The Raptors have won 3 of their last 4 blowout wins over the Magic and the Celtics in that, a win over the Warriors as well. Also blowout loss to the Bucks on the road. And that's the thing. The Raptors this season have only one road win. They're on the road for back-to-back games against the Hawks. This is the first of those 2 back-to-backs. Not back-to-back nights, though. Just back-to-back against the same opponent, same location. 4.5 is a spread in favor of the Hawks for this one. Over-under of 233. How do you see this one going, Pips? You're very in tune with the Hawks, as we know.
Yeah, they just played god awful last night. Huge game against the Pistons. Now they are on back to back. Not doing great on back to backs this season. Yeah, tough one.
Something's got to give here. The the Hawks have to win a back-to-back, or the Raptors have to win an away game. This is somebody's got to win this game today.
Maybe it's like the double overtime, so no one wins at the end. Yeah. Overall, yeah, 4.5 seems like could be a cover for the Raptors.
I don't know, man. I think
back to back
has to be fair.
I think the back to back is huge because Hawks are dealing with a lot of injuries. So obviously Trae Young playing injured entire season. I'll show you his back to back numbers just to give you some context. Like,
sure,
this is absolutely absurd. He is averaging 15 points on back to backs. Like 14, 2 points, 14, 7 points, 14. And look at this. 14 against Wizards, Bulls, Hornets, Kings. Awful defensive teams. Obviously, he put 34 on you guys. Yeah, but yeah, he's been struggling. And now I think Bogdanovic is out. Jalen Johnson just returned from the injury. This is first back-to-back game since return. Tyson Daniels was out for some games. Like, this team is hurting, so back-to-back after 40 minutes for starters last night could be ugly.
Well, his line here is 26.5. Trae Young. He's going to have David Mitchell guarding him a little bit. He's going to have Jamal Shed guarding him a little bit. Good defenders.
He scored 34 last time, though.
That's the thing.
Yeah, I actually watched that game, and I can't even remember from what was going on in that game. 7 threes, man. Like, that seems ridiculous.
It was a big time blowout.
Yeah,
I recall that. Let me see who was playing for the Raptors. Raptors had a pretty strong lineup out.
Yeah. I think no RJ Barrett though. I think the Barrett was out.
No, Barrett did play. It was quickly. He's like barely played, so no quickly in that one.
No quickly. David Mitchell was out.
No David Mitchell. He
Yeah.
could have been
So
out. He could have been just a DNP because he's had a couple this year.
so unfortunately, the 27.5 line moved. For I have some questions. If I had 27.5 minus 125, I will bet under. Uh, yeah, man, like this is rough. Like Davion Mitchell starting and guarding Trae Young the entire game.
Well, a lot of the game. Yeah.
Yeah, Trae Young is on back to back, so probably won't play 40 minutes. Davion will play probably like 26, 28. And do they double? They used to usually double best opposing players.
They didn't really double Bankero 2 days ago, except for the first quarter when they were down by 21 and ended up fixing that and won the game. They
I
didn't double
I
Giannis,
wouldn't
so I don't know.
I wouldn't double when I have Davion Mitchell on him. That's just waste. But when Davion is not there, I would actually. So for the last night game against the Pistons, I've got my money on Trae Young over 24.5. It dropped all the way from 27. And first possession of the game, I see they double him. And I'm thinking myself, why the fuck are you doubling Trae Young? Like he's the best passer in the league. Like you will getting destroyed. And Pistons won by 20. Like it ended up being 10, but they had 20-point lead the entire game. And then I realized like, yeah, it's not about they just took the ball away from the opposing best players and made Jason Daniels, Okongwu, Hunter, and like those guys make wide open threes and make decisions down the road. That actually makes sense. Even though every single time they double try, he found the open guy. Like he is tremendous. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm taking a bit step back on doubling opposing best players when he's a good passer. I think that's can be a great idea, especially if he's surrounded by guys like Kongwu Daniels and Krejci and Jalen Johnson, who are not great shooters. I think that could be a great idea. So I could see Darko doing it. Like if he's doing it when he shouldn't, now that he should, like, this is a test. Like I
That's the
would,
thing.
yeah, I won't do it with Devion. Like makes no sense. Like,
Yeah.
he can probably if you need to pick one guy in the entire league to guard Trey, Devion will be
It might be David
my pick.
Mitchell.
Yeah, I think actually he'll be like the number one for me. Like he's like because Trey Young is real small and Devion usually have some issues with bigger guys, but this is like perfect matchup for him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do lean under for Trey Young. If it was 27.5, I'll bet he's under.
All right. So hey, chop around. You've got minus 125 or better there. Might be worth a look. We'll move now to the next game. Oklahoma, 13-point favorites against the Dallas Mavericks at home. We saw a massive spread yesterday when the Thunder played the Jazz. It closed at about 16, and the Thunder did win by 9. Just anybody who was watching yesterday's show. Before today, how we feel about this spread here? Back-to-back for both teams.
It's insane. Let me just check the injury report for the Dallas.
It's pretty ugly, and they had a close game, close loss yesterday. Whereas the Thunder were perhaps a little bit more rested from yesterday's win.
But they just beat the Thunder a couple of days ago.
For today, no Doncic, no Powell. Actually, Powell didn't play yesterday. He probably
Powell
won't
is
play today.
the most unimportant guy in the entire league.
That's fair. Derek Lively going to be out for 2 to 3 months now. Dante
He was out
Exum-
the last time too, as well.
Dante Exum's out. Clay Thompson, well, not that it matters, but Clay Thompson's out. Najee Marshall did not play yesterday. We'll see if he plays
I could
today.
see. I think Najee is a really important one here. Like he's their best defender, and they need him to guard Shea or J-Dub. Like that's yeah.
Yeah.
I think that Dallas is covering this. If Kyrie is playing, I think he is. Yeah. I will have a bet on this one. Also need to open up the FanDuel to see the lines because I'm not sure because it's a scrub bet. Yeah, he's not available. Uh, we are betting on Jalen Williams.
Jay Will.
Yeah, I don't think anyone had that one on the cards.
No. Wasn't expecting a Jay Will bet. Maybe a J Dub, but not Jay Will. Jay Will, Jaylin Williams. That's the player we're betting on. Okay.
Yeah, we are taking him over 7.5 points.
All right. Over 7.5. We can play -125. Best in market.
Yeah, so the reason behind this is obviously no Chet, no Isaiah Hartenstein. Someone needs to play at 5. And they decided it's Jalen Williams. And his line is set at 7.5. And they are widely available -125. I think every single book has that number. I know I just bet it myself like 2 minutes ago while we were talking. I got -123 on this one, but yeah, -125 is widely available. And that's our third official bet. Number wise, so these are the games when he played 20 plus minutes. Season high in minutes came 5 days ago against Dallas Mavericks. He ended up playing 31 minutes, scoring 12 points while shooting 4 from 11. So he was, I'll say, mildly inefficient in that game, and he still ended up covering easily by 12 points. So usage was just too big. I don't think he plays 31 minutes. I have him like at 25, but I have him to like 9-10 points area. Why? They kind of ignored him and doubled J Dub. And now they have Shea out there, so they'll double Shea and J Dub, both of them, which will open up a ton of good looks for Jalen Williams. He needs to make, I will say, 3 buckets. Like he will have like 5 to 7 threes open, and he needs to make 2 threes and 1 bucket, so that's 8 points. On the season, Jalen Williams is shooting. I'll just check some numbers. Can't open this stuff, like, man. But overall, he can shoot. Like for a big, like he's not something like spectacular shooter, but he's making like
He's
when
capable.
you leave him wide open,
He'll shoot
he's
it.
shooting like 35%. So yeah, his career 38% from 3. Decent free throw shooter, like decent finisher at around the rim. This season, like he's overall like good spot to bet on him. As I said, like mostly matchup wise, like numbers wise, 25 minutes. Like when you look at he's now scoring per 25 minutes, probably like 8.5 points, which is still over the line. But I think usage will be much higher than in usual games because I watch Dallas almost every single day. Like they always have like last night they were doubling both Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle. They were even doubling Julius Randle, which is kind of absurd. Like no team should double Julius Randle post-ups, and they did. And then Mike Conley and Jaden McDaniels and Rudy Gobert had field day. Like I think all 3 went over, and both Julius Randle and Edwards stayed under. So Jason Kidd is pretty much always like doing that stuff. Like he's the sending doubles to opposing best players and helping off guys that he doesn't consider a threat on offense. And I think that's the biggest target is obviously Jalen Williams. Also, Gafford won't leave the paint. So if Jalen Williams is out there shooting threes, he'll top his cap, and even if he scored like 5, like he won't come up. I've seen that shit against Turner. And Turner is much better offensive player than Jalen Williams, so he didn't care. Turner, every single time he plays the Dallas, he puts great numbers because he just doesn't care. So yeah, I think it's one. I think that's enough for this bet.
Jalen Williams, our third player on the card today. First over of the day, over 7.5, minus 125. Let's keep moving. Three more games to go through. 8.5 point spread in the Sacramento and Denver game. Denver favored at home. We know how good they are at home. They've been playing better recently as well. Sacramento also playing a lot better recently. 9-1 in their last 10. Any thoughts for this game?
My bet for this game moved a lot, and it's not just on FanDuel, everywhere.
Yeah.
I had my eyes on Malik Monk, but it moved even before the show started. So usually we'll go there to grab it while it's available. But yeah, that was my play. Malik Monk over 5.5 assists. If you can get that better than minus 130, I will advise that as a good bet. But obviously, we can do it. 6+ could be the thing. If what's the price for him to get 6+?
Minus 170.
Yeah. And to think that it was minus 110 like 1 hour ago, which is
Things move fast.
yeah, because was obvious like clear like mistaken line, error line.
Right.
So yeah, but if you can find like someone that didn't react to this, minus 130 will be the way to play.
All right. We can then move to second last game. We have the Golden State Warriors, 1.5 point favorites at home against the Chicago Bulls. Warriors have been struggling in the recent weeks, definitely, and they were up big over the Sacramento Kings yesterday. I think they were up 65-48 at halftime and end up losing by 6. So struggles compounded there. Any thoughts on this game here? Bulls aren't exactly fantastic either, but hey, they got a chance here.
Yeah. In some interesting lines, I would say. Can you open the lines for this game for points players? Like I'm trying to wrap my head how is this even possible?
Only
So
Bulls players up here.
yeah, it moved back. So people agreed with me. Zach LaVine was 27, Vucic was 20, Gide was 13, Ayo Dosunmu was 13, Lonzo Ball was 8.5. So like they put the numbers on the board like Bulls are scoring 130 points, 130, which was insane for against Golden State Warriors on back to back. So people are smashing the unders, which makes sense. Yeah, I'm just trying to look like Bulls like have Ayo Dosunmu off the bench, but now it's like Lonzo is playing big minutes. Yeah, Kobe White is questionable. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe that's the reason. Yeah, could be.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised with seeing some of these lines. Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably expect Kobe White to be out, so that's why the reason is for this line. Overall, no bets for this game. We got lucky with Moody actually. Steve Kerr did his thing again. Fucking idiot. Moody came on the floor in the first half, knocked up 2 threes immediately, played great defense on DeMar DeRozan. Like, he's a good player, really good player. And Kerr decided to bench him, and like he played 9 minutes in the first half. Even though in those 9 minutes he was absolutely great. So yeah, I don't know. Like so far this season, like worst experience is like predicting Steve Kerr rotation and minutes for the players. So yeah, no bets on this one. I don't want to even like stress about Steve Kerr and his
No
stuff.
problem. Last game up, Wizards plus 14 on the road against the Clippers, who played a pretty good game against Boston yesterday as 12-point underdogs. They ended up losing by 4 points. Anybody who played KPJ probably had a decent day, but this game here, how do you feel?
I think this is a good spot for a blowout. I do think we could see, if it's not a blowout, maybe some additional minutes for Kawhi. Like he should play like 24 tonight. In that case, 16.5 should be a good bet for the over. But considering it's a minus 14 spread and that they don't need to push him in this one, yeah, easy pass on the game. I said KPJ last night, and I don't know if anyone checked the numbers for KPJ last night.
People did bet it in the chat.
Someone said like, yeah, I kind of predicted well the line. 16.5 was the line for him. He ended up at 28, I think. Yeah. So no one could score besides him. Like,
hey, there's official picks in the show, but there's also additional information if you tune in to it all. And a lot of people were there getting that number.
I will honestly say that unofficial bets do much better than official bets.
Well, to be fair, we haven't tracked them, but it's certainly possible.
Yeah. I'm talking from my ass, of course. We didn't track them, but like looking like from like.
I mean, this week, KPJ, Isaiah Collier double, Nikola Jokic triple-double. Tell you guys, we always make sure to play the widely available numbers, widely available books, and not stuff that isn't widely available. But if we did, the record would look even better. It's just
and also like when I comment on the on these bets, like usually when I'm strongly against, it ended up as an under. Probably when I'm strongly against, like not just saying like probably I should. When someone asks about something and I'm strongly against it, I should probably bet the opposite way because it had a great success so far this season.
Right.
But yeah, so far we have Kamara under, Hachimura under, Jalen Williams over. And now we are at the last game, which is no bets, of course, for this. And yeah, I've seen a ton of questions for the chat.
Yes, we will go through them here. Good friend Chillionaire asked about Chris Paul 10+ assists at plus 170 and Wemby over 3.5 threes at plus 130.
I don't know. Doesn't look. Wemby, of course, that's not good price. I'm not saying he doesn't hit. I don't have any opinions on him hitting or not hitting. I'm just saying that price should be higher.
Right. Fair enough, Derek. I mean, the lines are very inflated for the Paris game, as we know, right? Darius Knox asked about Harrison Barnes under 4.5 rebounds.
No opinion. Sorry, guys. Like, I can look. So to be fair, I'll take a look. But wings rebounds against team with shooting bigs. Only if like the Wemby decides I won't even contest the Turner threes. If he goes out there, that's tough. Like this looks obviously great. Like, but you need to count with Jeremy Sohan being out. Then it doesn't look like a great honor, right? Like Sohan was grabbing every rebound. Like he had more rebounds than Wemby in most of the games. Now Sohan is out, and if you take a look at the games where Barnes gets more than 25 minutes, he is actually killing this line with 5.3 average. So you need to account Sohan. I will just show you, like in games when Sohan is playing, massive difference, right?
Yeah.
Like 2.7 with him and without him 5.3. So it's all about the Sohan. So when you look at this period where he stayed under, that's when Sohan returned. Always, you need to always add the context for the place.
Okay, we'll cut off questions there because we have a lot to go through still. But so thank you everybody for sending them in. We have Bear Commander Gobert is asking about Scotty Barnes over 14.5 assists plus rebounds at minus 115. I'll say for Barnes, for these sorts of plays, I think one of the biggest things to look for Barnes when you're considering rebounds is who he's guarding. If he's guarding a forward, he's usually going to get a lot more rebounds, like if he's guarding Paolo Banchero, for example, last game. Whereas in a matchup where he's guarding a guard and he's not in the paint very often, he won't get a lot of rebounds. Like, if he's in the paint, like, he will steal rebounds off people. Like, he wants the numbers up there. So,
yeah, he's guarding Jalen Johnson, so he'll be up there.
Right. So in this game, it would reflect better for rebounds.
I would say this was a bet at 13.5. Now at 14.5, the value is gone.
Right.
We can go one by one question. I'll just be quicker. I won't talk like 5 minutes for every single one.
Daddy of the under 14.5 points.
Lean under if Anthony Simons is playing. Yeah. If Anthony is out, then tough one. But if you get, knowing Philly probably has like some non-sharp outs, just wait for the Simons information.
Yes, we've got Grady Dick under 13.5 points, minus 102.
Not a fan of playing unders against the Hawks.
Okay, we're firing through. Jelko asked about a fresh Porzingis versus the Lakers over 16.5 points, about minus 110. Last season, he had 28 against Anthony Davis.
16.5. Do we have any 16.5?
Well, Jelko might. Do we? Let's see.
Let's see.
No, like, doesn't exist.
Yeah, my guy, take that easily.
Yeah, take that number if you've got it. Kyrie Irving under 34.5 PRA minus 115. That comes from Nicholas Jepson.
If you believe the spread, take it.
Okay.
Yeah, with blowout
chance.
chance.
The spread?
Yeah, I don't think it's a blowout.
We have Steelers Nation asking about Khalil Ware, Rookie of the Year. I pulled it up here on FanDuel. He's plus 450. It's tough mid. I mean, plus 450. He's the fourth guy on the list. I don't really think there's value in getting that number at this point, especially for a guy that's been in and out of rotation.
The hype, though.
I mean, I guess, but. Well, you know, this Rookie of the Year race, like Yves Misty was a good look potentially a couple weeks ago. Now he's down. Zach Edey was favorite a couple weeks ago. Now he's fifth on the list. Sarr wasn't even on the in near the top list. Now he's third. I have no idea who's winning this.
Who are the favorites? Like Castle's
first, Jalen Wells second, Sarr third.
I would say Jalen Wells is the best player so far. Like, his defense is out of the world. Like, I didn't even realize throughout the first couple of weeks that he's so good at defense. Like, I watched him last night defend LaMelo Ball, and it was poetry in motion. Like, he's like top defensive guy. Like, could see in the future some all defensive teams for Jalen Wells. So yeah, I would have him as my number one guy. Like, if I made the board.
And record will help as well.
But obviously he can end up season with 12, 3 and 2 on very efficient shooting and being defensive menace. I think that should be enough for the win. Over Castle, who did well when guys were missing on the team.
Yeah,
he can shoot. He's decent defender, but not even close to Wells. Yeah, I think there is like a difference between them. So, but if they trade Butter, Kelal could be getting like 28 minutes a night, which is on Miami who lacks any offense, he could put the numbers.
It's true.
So,
Unless they get a big back in the trade.
but plus 450, not great.
Yeah.
I do think he has a chance to win. Yeah.
Jimmy asked about Devin Vassell over 17.5 points.
I didn't even look at the line, but that's off number. That's not the number for Vassell. I think the number should be 18, just 18 over.
Okay. It's there's some rogue 17.5s available. If you have one, let's say minus 120.
Yeah, if you have 17.5 and it's not heavily juiced, I will advise betting the over just by numbers and just by my idea of Pacers could double to Wemby.
Yeah, agreed. Nicholas Jepson also asked about Jason Tatum over 25.5 points.
Brown could be out tonight, so yeah, I lean over.
Okay, and
Brown had
final
some
one.
injury
Oh, sorry.
stuff.
Go ahead.
Some injury stuff concern huge minutes on back-to-back, and he's questionable. I could see him being arrested. So then Tatum becomes like a 25 becomes like a well of number. And if Brown is playing, 25 seems like a fair price. So you are just risking for like neutral spot at the best. Like I think it makes sense.
Final question comes from Droshko asking about Nikola Jokic triple-double at plus 110.
I do think he gets the triple-double. I do think that price is not great.
Okay. What if, for instance, minus 130s in market? What about that?
Minus 130.
Sorry, plus 130. Sorry.
Plus 130 looks way better.
Well,
I would say
better.
Fair price should be plus 100. Yeah, fair price should be. I don't know, like rebounds against the Sabonis are always like lottery. I would say like he could have like game when he doesn't get 10 rebounds. Like if there is one guy in the league he could stay under 10 rebounds, that's probably Sabonis. And he did it twice last season. He had 7 or 8 rebounds in 2 games against Sabonis last season. So he will not because he can't rebound, but he usually focuses on boxing out Sabonis. And yeah, so yeah, I would pass on that price, even though I still think he should be getting that triple-double.
Right. All right. That'll do it. Thank you for all the questions. Sorry we couldn't get to them all, but we are almost an hour in. So send them in early, and that way you don't have to worry about that. But apologies. We wish we could do them all. But, hey, we've got to get on with things here. We've got 3 official picks for the show today. If you're tailing the picks, please make sure you hit the like button. If you enjoyed the show, please make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel as well for more content. Let's try to grow the channel, reach out to some new viewers on the board presented by FanDuel. And we have 3 official picks in play for today. We played 3 over-unders for player points. We have Tamudi Kamara under 9.5 points. We got it minus 125. It was good to minus 132. Rui Hachimura under 11.5 points, minus 125. And Jalen Williams over 7.5 points, also minus 125. Jalen Williams being J-Will, Jaylin, to avoid any confusion. That is the 3 plays for today. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We hope to see you tomorrow. We round off the week on the channel, and we'll hope to have a good Friday slate. It's a small Friday slate, so there maybe not be the longest of shows, but certainly we'll look for some more bets. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in.
We always find topics to talk about, so even on one game slate, we will have a huge show.
Yes, we'll have another good show regardless of the slate, as we always do. Thank you to everybody who tunes into each and every show. We do notice it, and we are very much appreciative of that. We'll hope to see you tomorrow once again for more from Pick and Roll.